Good morning, everyone. I'm Rob Mosley, aka Dolphins Thirsty, and I'm joined normally, as always, by Justin JPF Scout, also known as Digging in the Trenches. And today he has a whole bunch of his fellow Colorado Longhorns on the team joining us, and that's their schedule up there. So, Justin, good morning and welcome, and tell everyone a little bit about who we have here today.
Oh, good morning. How you doing today, everybody? Right now, we have on the team the head coach of the Colorado Longhorns, Jason Guerra, down there to the bottom left-hand corner. Then on the top right-hand corner is the quarterback of the Longhorns, is Austin Sally. And to the bottom right-hand corner would be the free safety of the defense, Daryl Bryant. Good morning to all you gentlemen. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing great. We're doing pretty good. Another
Right
day.
on, right
Another
on.
day of the week.
Yep. Thanks for joining us this morning on the show here live with my buddy Rob Mosley, aka Dolphins Thirsty. You know who I am. Obviously, I'm JPF Scout, digging in the trenches. Today, we're going to talk to these guys here about their football careers and about them as young men and growing into themselves as football players and young men, and obviously how they got started in football, their whole backgrounds, all of that good stuff. So, Jason, we'll start out with you. How did what's your football background? You know, where are you from? All that good stuff.
Well, first, I would like to say thank you guys for allowing us to take this platform and get out there and talk about what we're doing. Without you guys having this,
This guy right here.
So we do appreciate it. Thank you very much for
No,
taking
you're
that
welcome,
time.
Coach. Thank you, Coach, for being here and bringing some of your teammates. This is awesome. Team
Of
member.
course, it's about these guys. These guys are the ones who put in the hard work, the effort every day, coming out there. If you remember from Bears post last week, it's semi-pro. So, it takes time from family, from work, from other life things that's going on, and these guys put in the effort to be there. So again, it's about these guys. Me being on here, I just wanted to, just come in and just say a few words, and that would be it. And it's the rest on these guys. But my background, you asked for that.
Yeah.
I'm from Michigan originally. Moved out here in '84. Played football locally out here at Palmer High School when I was a youth. Did the park and rec thing, all that. And then I didn't do anything for a few years. My oldest son at the time, when he was 10 years old, asked me to coach his football team. I liked football. I was about football, but I wasn't a coach. And I was like, whatever. Okay, let's do it. And so I got out there, and I had previously helped one of my older cousins with his football team that he did. Like, I did a few things because I was in high school at the time when he was coaching, and so I got the gist of things, and I do enjoy that. So of course I went out there with my sons, and we were successful. We had successful park and rec teams for a few years, and then after that, my younger son came up, and my older son went to middle school, so they have their own things, and I started coaching my younger son. I did park and rec for about 12 years. Got to Palmer High School as a coach. Was just a regular coach on freshman. Was there for 7 years. Grew into a head coach of freshman, head coach at JV, and then an OC for the varsity. After 7 years, coach came in, released everybody. You know how that goes, cleans house.
Yeah.
And then I sat out of football for about 2 years. I got with Coach Reese. And with the Colorado Springs Flames back in 2012, was with them, and we won a championship then. And then after that, I kind of was in limbo for a little bit, didn't do too much, and then I got a call 1 year, actually from Coach Steve and LJ he was during this time they were with the Renegades, and they asked me to come out and be an OC for them. Went out there, and things were going on, and then I ended up not going with them. Well, actually, they changed from the Renegades to the Lions. The COVID kind of happened. Then all that, what I'm saying, didn't go through. And then, well, no, I was before COVID. Sorry. And then I got with Coach with the Spartans. And one of the players, Brandon Roman, I'm pretty sure a couple of these guys know who I'm talking about. He had told Coach Bear about me because, again, I was with the Renegades, but then I walked away from there. And he was like, hey, he's a good coach, get him out here. And then Bear reached out, got me out there, and it was good sense. It was really funny because I was seeing kids and coaching kids who I coached in youth. So,
Right.
like Tristan Adamson, Avery Badler, I see these guys, out there playing semi-pro. I'm like, hey, full circle again. So it
Yeah,
was pretty
yeah,
cool
yeah.
with that.
Yeah,
And then now,
so football's always been in your background. So you have a lot of coaching experience. It's always been in your life. You kind of did the same thing Bear did too for me. You gave me the 2-for-1, and then you kind of answered the question without me even asking how you ran into getting the job of being the head coach of the Colorado Longhorns. So that's awesome. Thank you for helping out move the show along as well. But honestly, like how long have you known about the league that we're in right now? And is this the first conception year of the league, or have you known about it forever?
well, no, the league's been around for some years, but it did shut down last year, and we were in a different league. And that
Right.
league, that league was an older league, and unfortunately, that league folded due to circumstances. And it's sad to see that because that league was such an older league, and it's good to have that. But that league had folded. We came back to this league, and then and it was funny because a lot of those teams that were in that other league came over to this league as well. Like it literally
Sure.
only had 2 teams left into that league, and they decided just to fold because it wasn't worth holding up.
Right. So a lot of the players that you've seen on different teams and even on your own team, you have familiarity with a lot of the players that you see throughout the league, just
Yes,
because of your time with it. So that's also a really good thing. So from your personal standpoint as the coach of the Longhorns, I mean, I asked Bear the same thing as being the owner of it. Right now, before we even get into that, right now, what do you think the status of the team is right now, getting ready for our, I guess you could say, the second preseason game in our scrimmage? Yeah, where do you think the focus of the team is right now? Where's our heart at right now? Where do you think everything's at right now?
Well, I do know, with the beginning of the season, we had a different DC at the time, Jet Jackson, and
Right.
he's a good guy. And unfortunately, he had a step down, family things that was going on, and we brought in Coach Bucky, Marlon Hall. He came in, and so it was a little adjustment at first for our defense. And our defense last year was key. Defense was by far our strongest point. Our offense wasn't clicking correctly until later into the season last year. And our defense, a couple of guys, we have military as well. So a lot of our guys, they get stationed out, they got to move, they get PCS. And unfortunately, we lost a few other guys as well on there. And you can see our defense kind of, take a deep breath, like, gosh. Sorry, I'm about to say that. But you can see them coming along now. Our defense, you can see that they're understanding. They're as one. You can see that they believe. And so right now I'm seeing that they are coming through and they're understanding what's going on. We got one of our defensive leaders here, Daryl Bryant. He'll tell you that exact same stuff. But as of right now, I believe our offense is very key. We have an explosive offense this year. Austin, who's right there, as you can see on the top, he brings a dynamic to our team that we were missing, and we even have another quarterback named Eric Kappa who brings a certain dynamic as well, and with these guys out there, we'll be able to lead this team. And we have players across the board offensively as well, from the receivers to the backfield, even our O-line. They're very, very strong. I mean, I'm giving kudos to everybody. And I believe our heart right now is with what we got offensively, but we know what our defense can do. And we know how our defense can play. It's just, and now that they're gelling, we will see on Saturday how this is going to come together. I believe that we're going to come out very strong. We're going to be punching people in the mouth, putting pads, and I think we'll be coming out victorious in this. It's just keeping our composure. Sometimes we can have a little hot heads, coming through. But it's like I said yesterday, it's 60 minutes of the game. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. That's a part of the game. Turnovers is a category for a reason. Penalties is a category for a reason because it happens in the game. So it's just holding our composure, understanding where we're at, getting our jobs done, and we'll be fine. We will have 3 and outs, but we'll have established drives as well. So it's going to be fun. This is the great thing about football I love, because you never know what's going to happen. That's why we play the game.
So right now I know we got a lot of guests, so we'll try to segue over here to Austin. But before we do that, Rob, you got any questions for Coach G?
I let you get to everyone else. I ask some questions at the end of all, like general questions to all, and then
Okay.
whoever wants to answer after.
Yeah, I'll
we let
save
some of
the very
players
last
talk.
question too, which is the one for all of you guys, and to the end, and then you guys can answer those one at a time. So, Austin, you're the quarterback of the Colorado Longhorns. What is your football background, and where are you from? I know this, but go ahead and tell the people out there who don't know this, all of that.
I was born a lot in Oklahoma. Moved a lot from city to city. Dad was either a pastor or a police officer, so childhood was, always moving. But we ended up settling in Fort Worth, Texas, and I played 5A football for Chisholm Trail High School. At the time, my head coach was Randall Hugg. He had coached Matthew Stafford back at Highland Park, so I was able to learn a lot from him. When I graduated in 2016, I committed to Howard Payne University out in Brownwood, Texas. Played there for a year and then kind of felt that this wasn't the place for me. So I ended up leaving Howard Payne and kind of just giving football up for a time. So I went and worked corrections for a little bit, and then played for the Dallas Defenders semi-pro team down in Dallas. Played for them for a season, then joined the Army. Got deployed to Poland, and then one of my receivers, Greg Swift, he was telling me about the Longhorns and that I needed to come try out. Ended up coming out, and everything's just kind of gelled from there.
Right. Yeah, it's fallen into place. I noticed you got a little bit of swagger when you're in the pocket. Like I got in one when we were doing team drills yesterday, I got loose a couple times and came at you, and you made me look like dust out back there a couple times. I was like, wow, man, he's got some wheels on him. So you do have a little bit of a running background as well, too, right?
Yeah. So in high school, I was able to pass for over 3,000 yards on my senior year and was able to rush for over 1,200. So I had a pretty good senior year. It was just, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the fastest, but something that nobody could ever take away from me was my work ethic and what I always brought to a team. So every day I stayed there till 7, 8 o'clock at night and just practiced my craft, perfected my craft, working on breaking pocket, work on throwing on run, and being able to work those things that I need to do, especially when, you're playing division or 5A football in the state of Texas. There's
Right.
D1 athletes everywhere, D2 athletes everywhere.
Yeah, there's freaks down there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, same as here in South Florida. We got great athletes down here, too.
Absolutely. Exactly. Both states are.
And don't worry, Austin, you seem like a good guy, but I won't forget your Tua shot the other day on here. So, I remember you took a shot at Tua, but it's okay. It's all forgiven.
Yeah,
so.
No, it's all good.
Justin's been on me about it, and I try to reason with him, but it's all good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. That story has yet to be written. But you actually did a 2-for-1 too. Told how Swift told you about the league and how you came out and tried out for the Longhorns, because that was going to be another question, is how you found out about that. But from what I'm seeing right now, I mean, this kid, he can spin it, man. I was catching some passes from him the other day, and he throws a very hard ball, but at the same time, he's got touch passes. He can maneuver his way through the pocket, go through his reads, progressions. His setup is nice. I think it's looking bright for the Longhorns this year with him at quarterback. Right now, like, how do you feel in the offense? How are things ready for you? What are you doing out in the community as well? You can speak on that to bring focus to you and the Longhorns and the rest of your teammates.
Yeah, so something that I really pride myself on whenever it comes to like trying to put our name and put a voice out there is going to like little kids camps. We just recently went to the NFL flag football thing in Falcon, and growing up in the state of Texas, that was something that when I was little, that always inspired me to play football. You'd see the older guys come in with their jerseys and it looked cool. So that was something that our high school did that I really enjoyed. Was we'd go to like the local middle schools, local elementary schools, and really just teach kids. And that's something that I love doing. So when I was told about the opportunity to go to the flag thing, I was like, hell yeah, I'm down. Because I love teaching kids how to play football. It's a game that I love and something that I think everybody needs to play. It's a fun game. It gets hard at times, but at the same time, that's what makes it fun. being able to teach these kids how to play is amazing. And then once you get to those older kids, those 12, 13, 14-year-olds that are, you know, coming up to replace you, you want the best for them. Because, yeah, we're semi-pro players, but people like Darryl Bryant still have the opportunity to go play somewhere else.
Sure, they do. Absolutely.
You want guys that are going to come up and take your spot to be better than you. So that's something that I really try to pride myself on within the community. I have a thing today at 7:00 tonight with a couple of my teammates. We're going to go talk to kids about playing football in the flag league and try to get some of those guys out there, and hopefully they can come to our games. You know,
that'd be awesome.
Come to our games.
That's awesome. Like, you're doing great things in the community too, and at the same time trying to further your career and having fun at the same time playing football. That's awesome. But I'll save the last question that I would have for all of you for the last, and you all can get an answer. But now we'll talk to DB, Darryl Bryant. What's going on, man? So what's your football background? Where are you from? How long have you played?
I was born in Hampton, Virginia. I've been playing football since I was like 4 or 5 years old. Started with like a little pee-wee team down in Virginia. My dad kind of like, he coached me all the way up until I want to say high school. That's when he had stopped. So I've been playing since I was like 5. I got into middle school. And I was a two-sport athlete. I played basketball and football. So I got into middle school. I still didn't know what I really wanted to do. So I was kind of still playing both. But I got to high school, and it was like, all right, like this basketball, you know, it's probably not for me. I started seeing guys 6'4", 6'5". So I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to stay the football route. So I played at Phoebus High School. It's a powerhouse down in Virginia, you know. We went 4A, 5A, and then went down to 3A. So we was a powerhouse every division. We've been there. After high school, I had a couple offers. I had one from Hampton University. That offer kind of fell through. They got a new coaching staff and things like that. So that offer fell through. After my senior year, I had Virginia Tech and James Madison. So I was kind of stuck between the two. I took visits to both places and things like that. I felt like James Madison was the best like option for me. It kind of, you know, felt more like home and things like that. So I decided to go to James Madison. I had a pretty decent first year. I redshirted. You know, during practices, I did, you know, what I can do as a red shirt.
Right.
I didn't appear in the game with James Madison. So after my first year, you know, things kind of fell through there. You know, I was kind of just like, you know, I'm gonna leave football out. You know, I'm gonna join the military. So I decided to join the military. Once I got here, I found out about semi-pro. I didn't really know about semi-pro. We have it back home, but I was still a young kid, so I didn't know much about, you know, the adult semi-pro leagues and things like that. So I got here, found out about the Colorado Flames, but I don't think I ever went to one practice, one OTA, but I think the team one of the guys that was on the team had joined Spartans that year. So I went over to the Spartans, played with them. We had a pretty good year that year. Then after that season, we established as the Longhorns under Coach Guerra. We had a pretty good run last year, you know, made it all the way to the championship. You know, got bounced out by one of the powerhouses down here in Colorado. But, you know, last year for us, it was kind of unexpected. It wasn't even supposed to be in the position we was in at the end of the season. So, you know, we're not into moral victories or none of that at all. But, you know, looking back at it, we had a great season. Nobody expected that.
Yeah, man. You guys are quick this morning, man. You guys all gave me 2-for-1 answers, and DV, you gave me a 3-for-1, man. I like it. You guys are on top of things right now. Speak just a little bit real quickly about the championship game and what you saw in it. You know, like the intensity that you were focused on it right there, and like how close you were to maybe possibly winning it last year.
Oh, yeah, the game was definitely hyped up. You know, going against a team like the Greyhawks, you know, you you want to come in there with your head on, strapped up, ready to go.
Right.
So, we was definitely hyped up going into the game, and it showed the first half. We came on strong. Put a couple touchdowns on the board, a couple defensive stops, things like that. So we definitely did pretty good the first half. Coming out at the halftime, I think we was a little lackadaisical. We kind of started slow and things like that, and got them their confidence back. We kind of took the confidence away the first half. It was kind of stuck.
Kind of took your foot off the gas per se.
Yeah, we kind of
foot off their throat. Yeah, I understand. As DB mentioned too about the Army, I wanted to point out that both him and Austin are both in the service and are in the military, and they play for the Colorado Longhorns. I just want to point that out.
That's great. Thank you for your service, both of you guys.
They're in the service.
And it fits around your schedule, okay? All your guys, the jobs that pay the bill fits around your football schedule, okay?
Oh yeah, I'll be getting out here on the 26th, looking to return back to school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Okay.
Not to boast or anything, but he's got a future. He's got a future that he can go do something with his skills. This man, he's got great range back there. He's a rangy safety. He can hit, comes up, puts his nose in the pile. And when he gets his hands on the football, he knows exactly what to do with it. He houses it. So I'll be honest with you, no places. And just like Austin about how no one can outwork him. We actually had practice yesterday. Jason's buddy.
Justin, are you hearing feedback?
Yeah, I am hearing feedback. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing feedback. It's not from my end, I don't think. Maybe.
It's probably from me. My car's trying to sync my phone, and I'm trying to turn it off.
Oh, okay, no problem, man. I was wondering. I'm like, I'm hearing everything double.
Quarterbacks.
But I wanted to mention that Terrell Jennings was at practice yesterday. He's played at Illinois with Jartavius Martin, Witherspoon, and Sidney Brown. He's actually was roommates with Sidney Brown in college. And he suffered an injury in week 5 and came out and talked to these guys yesterday. And what Austin said right there stood out to me about how no one will outwork him. That's the same thing that Terrell Jennings said yesterday to these guys is no one could you can't. There's some things you can't control, but there's one thing you can control, and that's the effort you give out on the football field, and the effort you give is the growing as young men, and it just stood out to me. The reason why is because he's overcome odds to be where he's at, and he's still overcoming those odds today. That just stood out to me about these two. They give it their all out on the field. They're very smart. But now we'll get into the wrap up. The final question I have for all of you, all three of you, we'll start with the coach. What are your goals for the Colorado Longhorns this season?
My goals for the Colorado Longhorns: championship or bust.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. And this is the schedule right now.
We got far last year, and it's a lot of people are expecting us to be back in that same seat. A lot of these teams, they know who we are. I mean, I respect every team that's in this league. Even though there's guys who love running their mouths. There's guys that do other, but we don't do that. We play with our pads. We see you on Saturdays, and we're going to put you in the dirt. That's what we are about. That's one thing that I know that this team and these guys that are on this team are about is, getting out there and just being vicious and violent when we get out there, put those pads on. That's the way you got to play the game. But yeah, it's championship or bust. I feel because of that. There's a lot of expectations. A lot of these guys already know, what needs to be done. It is for me anyway. That's how I feel about it because of where we went last year. And I could probably tell you, Daryl probably feels the same way. Again, Austin, I know with his work ethic and the way he is, I mean, that guy is tremendous behind the scenes and meetings and getting stuff prepared. I can't wait to see his coaching career when he's older. But with these two guys that we have and these other men that are on here, we got a lot of military guys, but they understand the goals, what it takes.
Right.
And I'm excited to see the season start. I'm excited to go with this season. And hey, we'll see what goes on. That's why we play the game.
That's
My
right.
one quick question is like, what's a road game like? Is it normally like 2 or 3 hours, all within, or is it all near you guys in Colorado Springs, or is it like sometimes you have to hit the road for a few hours?
Yeah, sometimes we do. We do have a new team that came in the league, the Grand Valley First. That's actually Grand Junction. They're like a 6-hour away drive. But fortunately enough, we don't have to go to them this year. So we ain't taking that drive. They're coming to us. But we do go to NOCO. That's the Northern Colorado Nightmare. They're up in Fort Collins, Loveland area. So that's about a good 3-hour drive up there. Again, we usually take that travel every year. But that's probably as far as we go besides when we went to New Mexico. That was an 8-hour.
Individual cars, or you guys rent out a bus, or what do you guys do? Just everyone gets there on their own and bring their own equipment, or?
Yeah, pretty much, because we're semi-pro. We don't have buses. I wish we could.
Yeah,
that would be great.
much. I was just wondering. So that takes a lot of commitment on you guys. I appreciate it, man. That's great.
It does, and a lot of guys meet up and they carpool. They pitch in gas and hey, hey, so and so got a big SUV, $10, everybody, let's pile in. Let's go. Yeah. So I mean, you get a lot of that. I mean, we dressed in parking lots because places haven't had locker rooms. Like it's a little rough sometimes, but when we put the pads on and we step on that field, we are focused. We understand the goal in front of us, and that's to put the opponent in the dirt and walk away with a victory. That's our goal to every game. Again, I don't look over any team that's in this league. Any team could beat any team anytime. It's just putting our best foot forward and moving and scouting and seeing and knowing what's going on with them as well. So, and preparing is so much about this game, and that's one thing that I give kudos to these players about, because again, they don't get paid to do this. This is on their free time. They got family, they got work, they got life outside of this, to where pressure could be built up for them, but they put in that effort. And me seeing them put in that effort, that makes me understand that effort that they are bringing will be successful.
Right.
No, that's awesome.
So
thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Appreciate
So, Darrell, what are your goals for the season for the Longhorns? Not your individual goals, nobody's individual goals, but all our team goals. What do you want to accomplish this year?
I mean, like Coach G said, I mean, if the championship ain't your answer, you crazy, Of course you want that going into every season, So we're going to continue to do what we've been doing at practice, getting better on both sides of the ball, including special teams, And, tomorrow we're going to see what all this hard work we've been putting in, we're gonna be able to put it out on the field and see, what we're really about. So tomorrow is, is a big game, not because of who we playing. It's a big game within ourselves, to see what we really got against the state of Colorado. So
absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for the season. Austin, same question. What are your goals for the Colorado Longhorns this season?
My goal, obviously, I'm with these guys, is championship or bust. But at the same time, too, I all I want to see out of my guys, offense, defense, special teams, is us just getting better every single day. That's all that matters. That's all we can do. We can't look to the road ahead. We just got to look at what's in front of us. And right now, we got the Golden Chargers in front of us. And
that's right.
It is a big game, because from where we were when we went down to New Mexico, it's night and day. It's completely night and day from where we were. I feel we've gotten stronger over these past couple weeks since that last game. So I'm excited for us to come out. I know guys are going to be riled up and ready to go. And I'm excited to see what DB and the defense does. And I'm excited to see what we do as an offense. And all I ask is my guys do everything they can to the best of their abilities. And if you mess up at 100%.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
if people are in your area and they want to come out and see a game, where can they find one of your home games?
They can find those right there at the bottom, too. It says the home games are at James Irwin Asterzon at 5525 Asterzon Boulevard, Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80916, which is here in Colorado Springs. It's just off of Powers and Asterzon. That's where the home games will be. And the road games, like right there, they're obviously the ones that are marked in black or not blue. So the ones that are on the corners right there, the Phoenix, the Vipers, the Chargers, and the Nightmare. Like Coach G said, most of those are up in northern Colorado. So, Denver Golden, I think, is one of them, and then Fort Collins, I think, is the other one he said.
So which one of these teams won it last year, or any of these teams won it last year? Your
Well,
championship
the
you guys
team,
were talking-
the Phoenix actually they were used to be the Colorado Greyhawks. And the Colorado Greyhawks have been around, I want to say, about 10, 12 years, and they were dominant in this league, and then even in the leagues that they played in, championship after championship after championship. So the owner of the Greyhawks decided, hey, shut down everything. When he did, a lot of the players actually became the Phoenix, the Rocky Mountain Phoenix, who is ran by Bobby Purified. And Bobby Purified used to be a player with the Colorado Greyhawks. So it is kind of transformed into them, but they got a lot of other players from the Sting, from the NoCo teams, a couple of guys from the Vipers. So they have a squad that I will say that they are stacked. But again, that's a challenge that we like to take.
Oh, no, that's great, man. You don't start off slow. You start off with a tough team from the get-go. That's good, man.
Yeah, and that's basically the team we played in the championship last year.
Oh, okay. So so no easy task, but you guys seem to have it ready to go. Anyway, Justin, you can continue on. I just wanted to see that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Bobby Purify is the name that people should actually recognize. Steve Molly joined the show. Good luck, you guys. Someone chiming in saying good luck to the Colorado Longhorns, to Austin, DB, and Coach G. We thank you, Steve. Honestly, yeah, man, we're getting ready to go through this gauntlet. There's not one team we're not going to overlook. All of us, and I think all of our teammates and coaches are all on the same page. You heard these guys, championship or bust. That's the same out of me. Since my short time of being here, this is my first year with the Colorado Longhorns. I've seen a lot of growth out of these young men. They've actually come from just, being not where they need to being where they be. Like Austin said, night and day. I honestly believe that the defense is coming along. I think we're going to have a defense that's a high scoring turnover machine. And I think the offense is obviously going to put up a lot of points. I'm excited. Thank all of you gentlemen for joining us here this morning. Thank you for your time, and get ready to go, man. It starts now.
Hey, Longhorns.
We appreciate you guys very much giving us the opportunity, giving us the platform to be heard and be seen. We do appreciate that very, very much, Rob. Again,
you guys are welcome anytime. Tell Justin anytime you guys welcome. If you just watch Justin or me talk about the Dolphins and you join in, we have put a link out and you guys can join live and all of that good stuff. And for you listeners out there waiting for Dolphin Talk, Justin, stick with me for a little while and we do some Dolphin Talk.
I was going to say, hey, you guys don't forget to like and subscribe and tell people about the channel.
Coach Daryl and
tell your family about the channel. If you got some fellow Dolphins fans out there, this man right here has got some over here. He's got some really good content on DolphinsThirsty.com. He's got all of his stuff up there too. Good quizzes. He talks about the Dolphins. He's got scouting analysis. It's some of it's been done by me, but we got a lot of good stuff up there. Go check out his stuff. Give him a little bit of love too. We thank you, gentlemen, for your time, and we look forward to talking to you guys again.
Appreciate
check out the
Thank you so much. I'm going to take you guys out, and we'll probably bore you now. Justin and I are going to talk Miami Dolphins football, so we're going to get you out of here. But thank you so much. I wish you well. Stay safe, guys. And again, thank you for your service, Daryl and Austin.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
What's up, dog?
Hey, it's all good, man. So let's run a little bit Miami Dolphin talk now. And so since the last time we talked, it seems like, there's been very seldom rumor because you and I talked the day that, the Dolphins had announced that they got Chance Anderson. But since then, really nothing else other than just draft rumors.
No, there's talk. I've been hearing all this jibber jabber about how Tua's gonna retire and how he mentioned it and all this crap. He never even mentioned in the interview the word retirement. He's like, yeah, it came up.
Right.
What he says when it came up is the conversation came up, and it probably lasted a second. And then
I know because he even said, I know they just ignore all the other talk that he says he loves football. It's his life. He's going to do it. That if he was worried about injury, he would have given up a long time ago. All that just got ignored. So.
Yep. I think it's just dumping fuel on the fire. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Like, wait till you open up a caged lion in there, dude, and he comes out. It's just,
Well, I hope so. I hope you're right, because that would benefit the Dolphins. And you know me, whoever
sure
wears the
would.
aqua and orange, I'm rooting for, and that's what I want. So, any changes on your draft order that you like? Not draft order, because the Dolphins draft order hasn't changed, but as far as rankings of players at this time moving up on your board, moving down on your board?
Not really. No,
I know, because
not
you
a
did
lot.
all your
Not a lot
work
of
early. I
movements.
know.
Maybe
The good thing about you get your work out there before people start commenting, and you don't change your tune just because you hear other people comment one way or the other.
Not really. Like, I've had maybe a tight end move up or down, but that I'm like the strange kid did move up on my board as well. But
Yeah.
I mean, not really. No, not a lot. Like, there's not. I know there's going to be some hidden gems or something that came out there.
Well, that's every year, man. Every year. That's what makes the draft fun. That's what makes it a hit or miss. Guys that are being propped up as can't miss, great superstars, will end up not having a great career. Guys that no one's talking about, it will end up being, have a gold jacket. Will have a Joe Get jacket one day. It's just, that's what makes the draft fun. Yes, a lot of the can't miss end up not missing, but a lot of the can't miss, end up being, horrible. Just, it's just,
it is. It's like
what
a
it is.
lot of the guys who are highly touted sometimes just don't live up to, what they're overrated.
Yeah.
You think the Dolphins make a trade to get into the first round?
I do not. I mean, unless some guy they fall in love, but I do not. I know there was some talk about that because Chris Greer mentioned that teams had called that were in the bottom half of the first round, called the Dolphins to gauge their interest.
I've seen that.
To see if they. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
What are you targeting in the bottom half?
Right. That's what I'm saying now. If they love a Darnell Washington, or they love something like that, I don't know, or an offensive lineman, or I just don't know who they would think that they would put such a high ranking that they would give up a future number one when we don't have a number one.
I think there's only one player I would even be okay with trading up for, and it's surprising. I know you love Kyle Krabs. I had some background stuff going on before we came on. Now, and I seen he's got like this little ticker that goes to the bottom. I noticed his tight ends were on there, and it goes from from best to from 1 to 5, and he doesn't have Kincaid on there. And I'm like, this dude doesn't like Dalton Kincaid. I mean, he's got a great show and stuff. He did a great show, but
when I heard him talk about Kincaid, man, I can't believe he had 5. But he was saying Dolphin fits is how he ranks them. Like,
but that dude's a fit on anybody's team. Like, and that's the one player I'm talking about. There's only one player I would even consider trading up for, like trading up and being like, yeah, I'm okay with that. And that's Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. That's the only player
I didn't see Finn's. Hey, Finn's Tailgate.
Finn's Tailgate. What's going on, man? I haven't talked to you in a minute, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
He runs a great show. They run a great show over there, dude. They're always busy.
Okay, make sure. What's your YouTube handle? Is it the Finn's Tailgate?
Yeah, it's the Finn's Tailgate. Yeah, they got a great
speaking of Steve, we're a little behind here with the Colorado Longhorn talk this morning. Steve can be found on the Finn's Talk Sports Network. He's the host every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. of Real Talk Finn's Talk, and I'm his co-host on that show. But that network has a lot of other great channels, and I'm going to check you guys out, the Finn's Tailgate channel. I will go subscribe after this.
He's got a great channel.
Every time I try to go from here, from where I stream from, if I try to go and look on YouTube, it slows down my internet too much. I don't want to go look for their channel yet. But remind me after. I will go subscribe to the Finn's Tailgate channel here on YouTube. Sounds like a plan. Now I have more good content to go look up. So, and he's giving a what's up, Steve. So anyway, so how about, I know you're not as high on Tucker Kraft, but a lot of Dolphin fans, why isn't it that you're as high on Tucker Kraft as other Dolphin fans like him? Because you did a decent write-up on him. I mean, you think he's a good talent, but
I think the first thing about it is the style of football that he played in. He's a South Dakota Jack. I mean, they're not playing a lot of upper competition like the other tight ends. I think that's the first thing that throws me off. I'm like, well,
and Greer's history of not drafting smaller school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind drafting him, but you've really got to stand out. Like, the thing that stands out to me, like I told you the other day about the Kraft kid, I know everybody likes him. I know I see him high on people's boards, but it's his blocking. He's a great blocker, don't get me wrong. But after that, He does have a little bit of underrated, I guess, ability with his hands on the ball. I think I see him more as an H-back, fullback type, like a Kyle Juszczyk like type, not more of a traditional tight end type.
Okay. Now,
But
how about another small school, totally different position, a little bit north of North Dakota, the Cody Mock. How do you like his game?
Oh, now you're talking about some
Offensive
stuff.
lineman, yeah.
I know Cody Mock. I have him on as right now on my guard board as once for the Dolphins because I got a list I want to share with you guys. I have a list of the guards right now. He's third on the list, Cody Mock, which I see him more as a guard and a tackle, but he can play both. He can play guard. He can play tackle.
Okay.
I like him. He's gritty. He finishes his blocks. He's got good feet. There's not a lot of things not to like about his game. He's a good
the
pass
Dolphins
blocker.
took him at 51. Would you be okay with a Cody Mock? Would you be?
Sure, I'd be
If
all
he
right.
fell, I don't know if he's going to fall that far, but I'm just saying if, you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock that. I'm for that. But if there's a Bergeron or a McClendon on the board first, I gotta go Bergeron.
Oh, I know you've been on Bergeron and McClendon for a long time. I know that too.
Yep, I
Because,
have to.
believe me, I drop McClendon and Bergeron quite often in my mock drafts, thinking of you every time because I know you.
Those players. I think they fit what we're trying to do. It's funny that you bring up the North Dakota State stuff because, me and you always have conversations on the side because I'll text you back, dude, this guy, you know what I mean? But the kid who's really standing out to me on North Dakota State, there's two of them right now that's not as highly touted as a Cody Mock, would be the Noah Gindorf. And he's on my list, too, of the undrafted players, too. Yes, he can play center. He can play a lot of different positions. In fact, I wouldn't doubt if he can't play all five, Cody Mock.
But you would hope that the Dolphins would draft him with one position in mind because that's what happens they do to these rookies like Eichenberg. Oh, he can play tackle, he can play guard, and then you move them around and they never really establish themselves at one.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the TCU player, the Steve Olivia. I really like his game, like I was trying to tell you earlier, like 3 months ago. He can play guard, he can play center, he can play a lot of different positions. So it's the same thing with him. But back to this kid I was talking about, this Noah Gindorf out of North Dakota State, this tight end. He's 6'5", 6'6", 270 pounds, and he can block. And I mean, when I'm talking about something that fits the Dolphins system, the tight ends, how we use them to a T, it's this kid right here. This North Dakota State kid.
To? Like what range? Like
7th, 6th round, if not.
Okay, so you're saying he's a late round bargain.
Yeah, he's a UDFA probably, and I would imagine he'll end up being a UDFA. But he's a
so that's someone that you would have on your list.
Oh, he's on the list for the UDFAs. I fell in love with his game. Keep watching some of their film over there, and
so if you're Miami Dolphins on day 3 of the draft, you don't have many. You only have a 6th and a 7th. He's a guy that you would be like, okay, the minute this round's over, I'm calling this kid already because they can talk to them saying if you're not drafted, but they have to.
Yes.
So you're already
my first one. I'll tell you who it is later. I'll save it for later, but that's one of them. That's definitely one of them that was high on my list. Another guy who's in the draft that's on their team is this Hunter Lupke kid who's was their running back, fullback, halfback specialist. He's listed as a fullback in the draft. But, man, I'm telling you what, for a short yardage back and for somebody to put his insurance behind in gold, I'm all in, especially if it's a late round pick or a UDFA. So just the North Dakota State thing brought me to that. But
no, that's fine, man. That's what we got you here for, Justin, because I'm not going to lie, these names a lot. And as much as I love the draft, I know some of the sexy names, like 250 of the prospects. So
yeah, I know a couple more other than that too. Like it's probably in the 300, 350 range by now. But I was gonna say it's like let me just run through the offensive linemen that these are my Miami Dolphins draft targets that are in our range.
Perfect. And in the background, I'm going to be doing one of our famous mock drafts and put you back on the clock.
Right, yeah,
so talk about them while I'm getting the site up in the background.
I'll talk while you get going on the board. Yeah, my tackle, I have my number one, that we can get, that we could, obviously we won't be able to get Paris Johnson. I don't think you'll be able to get the Broderick Jones kid because they're rising. You won't be able to get DeJuan Jones out of Ohio State unless you trade up. But the ones I have that I like that we could get would be Bergeron and Warren McClendon. Okay, then you go to the guards who actually some of them can play tackle too. both of them, in fact, which would be Jackson Kirkland, who I notice his stock is dropping. It's not rising, it's dropping. So that's a guy I have in the back of my mind. He's a little tall, but we could work with that. And then you got the Daniels kid out of Utah, who I really, really like. And then obviously right below him, the Cody Mock. At center, which is this guy can play both positions, which is the Olivia. So out of all those guys I just named there, Bergeron, McClendon, Kirkland, Daniels, and Olivia, I want to end up with at least one of them. That would be the goal coming out of that. Then the tight ends, obviously, I don't know why everybody's focused on tight ends right now, unless it's going to be the Gindorf kid or Kincaid. I'm really not interested. But at the top of it, I have Washington. Yes, I would be satisfied because he's a great blocking tight end. So I'm not going to gripe about a Washington pick, but I don't really want to trade up to get it. Kincaid, Strange, Josh Weil out of Cincinnati, I really like. I noticed on some people's board he's getting really high, but I see him in the late round range or UDFA. So that's a name to watch out for Dolphins fans. Is don't forget about the Josh Wiley kid out of Cincinnati, and like I said, the Noah Gendorf kid. But those are more UDFAs. You ready to draft?
Yeah, I got them all. I went ahead and did the honors of running it through, so you're already on the clock. I think we would reject this. Today, we're open for trades, but today, there's no way I'm trading down to 80. Oh, stupid internet popping up there. Okay. So, do you agree with me?
Yeah, I wouldn't trade for that one.
Yeah, that's way too far down. If someone in their 50s, maybe as far as 60 would offer an offer, yes, but falling down to 80, that's a big no. So I know a lot of Dolphin fans would be screaming for Gibbs because we all love sexy names, and he's a sexy name. But I know you like Mozzie Smith. Oh, I know you also like John Michael Smith and Drew Sanders and Aviva. So I know there's a lot of names on this board that you like right now. So,
yeah,
but
honestly,
you're my guest here today, my co-host. You're getting Cody Mock. We mentioned him. He's on the board too. So,
man, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna do something different right here. And I don't think a lot of people probably wouldn't like it, but this is what I would do in this situation because I think it's rare. I know you see Drew Sanders on there, Gibbs, Mozzie Smith, but the one name that's standing out to me there that I haven't seen fall too much, and you don't have to do two, you probably knock out two birds with one stone right here, is you take John Michael Schmidt and you have him try to be the center, and then you kick Connor Williams over to left guard. And that makes Liam Eichenberg go fight for a swing tackle position. So, yeah, I'm taking John Michael Schmidt.
All right. I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, there's not a lot of centers in this draft that
Michael Vogel. Michael Vogel, your friend, would like that pick as well. So because
I like linemen. Like I want to protect Tua and get a running game going for Tua. Like, man, that Kyle Krabs had it right though. Man, he talked about the production and what like King Henry would bring to the Dolphins versus like a Dalvin Cook's production. And it's exactly like I was telling you, into the fourth quarter, you can wear down running backs. Yeah. His production is just far and outweigh what the Dolphins need. It brings an element to the Dolphins that the Dolphins don't have on offense right now, that you could lean on a nasty running game, and then you have to cover Tyreek.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. And I also agree with, like, don't make a trade for him until Tennessee gets desperate and, they're just willing to almost take anything at that. You know what I'm saying? Just don't go begging to them. Make them come begging to you to take him off the.
Yep. And then I've been hearing some rumors about maybe Dalvin Cook getting released. And then that's an option for them as well because it's cheap. And if he clears waivers, then I'm all for it. But if he doesn't clear waivers, obviously some other team will take on his contract. So, whoa, look at that right there.
Yeah, but I would not want to fall all the way to 115 from here. But I know, but that's actually a good range. That's some good value right there.
That's great value right there. Go into that one real quick if you can and take away 197. Take away our 197. Oh, wait a minute. Here, let's do something different. I got one of these the other day and ended up with Mekhi Becton from the Jets. Maybe try to trade them like Cedric Wilson and see if you can get back a future fifth or something. Just to sweeten the deal. Yeah, that one right there.
Yep, add a fifth?
Yep, see if they'll do it. Might as well give us some sort of, feasible assets going forward. Yeah, I figured. That's his draft. We don't need their stuff.
All right.
My God. Ika.
Oh, yeah, at that point.
Wait a minute. No, we can't do Ika now. Who did we just take? We took John Michael Schmidt.
Yep.
Oh, bro, look who's on the board right below that, though.
Oh, Pace. Yeah, I know you like Pace.
No, McClendon.
Oh, McClendon. Oh.
What about, is Bergeron on the board?
No.
You sure he's not on the tackles?
I don't see him. Let's see.
No, he
Let
might
me
not.
let me rule it out by going to tackle, but I don't see him on the. Nope, he's not on there.
Nope. I take.
Which is weird. He normally goes after McClendon on these
names. Yeah,
his
stock is rising, bro. I told you the other day when I sent you the text. I was like, I don't know if we'll be in the range to get him unless you take him with the very first 51st.
I mean, you were shore up our offensive line for the next decade.
McClendon. I'm taking McClendon, bro. I take McClendon right now.
Almost hints of Whitman Rebb and Keith Sims back in the day, like taking care of that.
What we got already. I'm writing this mock. I feel good about it. Look, John Michael Schmitz, and you got and you got McClendon, bro.
That'd be great. It wouldn't be the sexy names. You know what? Dolphin fans have been saying we need linemen. So here we go. Now we're on 197. We are. Let me go to all.
Yeah, go to all. Very top of it too. Oh, look, Deuce.
Yeah.
He's always there.
I know.
What's below Dabe? Yep, keep going down. A little bit more. Sometimes you got to go into the woodwork.
Well, I know you like that. Mohammed Ibrahim. I know.
I like Ibrahim. But look, the difference is
Derek Prince. Like.
Yep. But see, look what's happening now. It's like we could get something else and go get a UDFA like Xavier Valladay. I'm not gonna lay off that name, bro. Nope, that's the one I want, honestly. So, damn, man. Now that I'm looking at this right now, I would just go ahead and take Deuce. I know I said I just went against my theory, but Deuce is more than just a running back. He's an explosive running back who can help you in even maybe some.
He may not be like you say. He may be a little too small to be in every down, but he would bring an element when you bring him in. Yes. That would be very.
He's like a trick play gadget player at this point. Yeah, I take Deuce.
And at this point in the draft, you're not going to get a better value than that. So.
I would take Deuce right there, and he's like one of those kids that you cheer for who's underrated, and he's not big, he's not strong, but damn, is he fast and explosive. Like he can bring an element to the offense that we have.
You would think that McDaniel that'd be like a toy for McDaniel to find ways to get him the football.
Absolutely, man. Definitely it would. Oh, man.
This is all. Is there any one position? I know you like that Carl Brooks.
Yeah, that's the first one that stood out to me in the Ramirez kid.
Your Josh Riley is there.
Josh Wiley. Yeah, Josh Wiley. He's rated high.
Josh Wiley. Sorry. I tell you, I miss, Steve's in here. Me and him pronounce names wrong all the time. So
go
it's part of our show's cuteness, Our MO is mispronounce half the people's names we're saying.
Right.
Oh, Corey Jordan.
A little bit lower. Go lower. Below Durden. Keep going. Oh, man, there he is.
You know who doesn't fall anymore is that, remember beginning of the draft that I think was Jatavius Martin. He never falls low anymore.
No, dude, I told you. I knew his stock was going to go through the roof. Look, there's Strange. You could get him with a UDFA, though. So go all the way back to the top. Oh, man, you know what? Look over to the Seahawks. See the pick they just made right there before us, that Mark Evans II out of Arkansas.
Oh, yeah, you liked him. But we already fixed our line. Don't worry. You already fixed our line with our first two picks.
If he was available right then and here on this pick, I would have taken him right there. I'm not even going to lie. If he was available, I would have. But since he's not, let's go ahead and take Carl Brooks.
Yeah, that's what you have been taken before, so I know.
I would. It's either him or Wild.
There you had it, guys. Let's go. Let's let it run out. And there's our picks, guys. Our offensive line is fixed for the next, as long as we can keep them healthy. Our offensive line is fixed. We got a little fast weapon in the backfield. Doesn't bar us from making a trade for another back or get another back. And then we got a defensive lineman to work on in the future that has talent that, because we got uncertain contract status of two of our guys along the front, just to bring in some young talent to the team to mold for a year, maybe be on the practice squad for a little bit. but he would be ready to go. So I think this is an excellent draft. 2 day
Excellent
one
draft.
starters in my book. To
And
me,
then
John
right
Michael
here-
Smith's day one starters, McClendon day one starter. And
Yes.
how much more can you ask when you don't have a first round pick to get
I know.
2
I
day
think
one starters?
Yep, Rob, I think you hit it right out of the park there. That would be 2 day one starters, I think, out of those 4 picks. And then imagine you leave this on the board up there for just a minute. You added all these names, right? John Michael Schmidt, Warren McClendon, Deuce Vaughn, Carl Brooks. And then you get on the phone right after the draft, and you're trying to call up the Noah Gendorfs, the Jonah Taves, the Jermaine Lowlees, the Durden's still there, Corey Durden's, the Vontrez Miller, the Jacorian Bennett, who definitely won't be there, the Tyron Mullins, my buddy who we're going to have on the show here, who's familiar with the Colorado Longhorns, hopefully be at the game, Terrell Jennings, former Illinois cornerback, deep back. He'll play wherever, man. I hope the Dolphins do give this guy a call because he told me the Bears, the Falcons, the Lions, the Vikings, and a couple other teams have already contacted him. Just like if you remember when I went and watched, what's his name? Keeps skipping. McMillan, Jaquan's brother play.
Right.
I went and watched Jaquan McMillan play. Same kind of scenario. If he gets able to walk on the team, goes up there, I'm sure he's going to perform. But those will be guys I would call. And I don't want to forget to mention when I was with the Fins Talk Sports Network, we had my buddy Ish that was on the show, Ishmael Abdul Kwai. He's obviously on the list of the undrafted free agents I would call. How do you feel about drafting a defensive tackle, and who do you like at 51? We only have Agba under contract next year.
That was asked before my mock draft, before your mock draft. So, the
Carl Brooks pick would be the perfect answer for that question, though. Right there is the Carl Brooks pick I made to the end of the draft. I would like to draft a defensive tackle. I just don't want to take one early unless it's going to be somebody like Jalen Carter.
You did have Ika taken in some of your mock drafts in the past. So
yeah, but I see him more as a one tech. I would take Ika high. I would take even Mozzie Smith high. Jalen Carter, the Adabori, the guy out of Northwestern. No one's talking about the Adabori kid. He's rated 100 on my SRS. Someone like him came available, or Tuli Tuipulotu. See, Finn's Tailgate, I'm answering your question right there. Somebody like that's available at 51. Tuli Tuipulotu, Adabori, even Cansey, White, those guys. Yeah, I might be into a 5-tech like that, sure. I mean, they're basically tweeners, though. They can play 3-tech. They can play 5-tech. I don't consider them a pass rusher. I did notice a guy I want to give a little shout-out to. His draft stock has tanked a little bit, and I don't get it. He's a pass rusher, an edge player out of Pittsburgh. Habukak Baldonado.
I'll take your word for it. I'm gonna have Steve say that name on Tuesday night that you just said.
Yeah, you gotta Habukak Baldonado.
I take your name. You could say any way you weigh it. I would say, hey, okay, that sounds good to me.
I think that kid's gonna have a future here shortly. Watch. I bet you he gets drafted or he ends up undrafted free agent somewhere.
Well, I know there's another guy that's under the radar for some people, but he's raising up. So that's why I give you kudos once again. That kid out of Florida A&M, edge rusher. I was like, who's this guy Justin talking about? How's going to be some Florida A&M guy? But yep, he's rising up draft boards.
You're talking about my draft stud. I like this kid's game, dude. This Isaiah Land, aren't you?
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Isaiah Land is a beast, you guys. I'm telling you right now, there's something in my mind. And take it from a defensive line coach, a guy who loves the trenches. I'm telling you right now, bro, this Isaiah Land is going to be the best pass rusher in this draft.
And what rounds do people have? He never falls through the Dolphins pick. So what picks do you have?
I got the other day. I beg to differ. I have one on my phone. I was going to send it to you. I'm like, look at this draft I got. He fell to me at I think I traded for 131 and I got him at 131. I was like,
oh, okay, yeah, that range. Because I was going to say he's a little too rich for the earlier. That's what I meant, the later range pick.
I think
a little too rich for the 51 and the 84, but
way too rich. But maybe mid-range, third or fourth. I can definitely see that happening. I could see him going as high as second, honestly.
Yeah. So are you more like Dolphins 10? If you had a bet as of right now, with no more rumors that we've heard of this morning, if you had to bet, Dolphins more likely to move up, move down, or stand pat on their second night in the NFL draft, or without moving into the first round, obviously that
I
would
thought
be.
I thought your question was going to be, who do you think's the pick going to be?
Yeah. No, but do you just
51.
think one of those? What do you think the Dolphins are more likely to do? Do you think they're more in tune to like, man, we're so close, screw it, let's move up? Or they're like, man, we don't have enough picks in those values after 84. We wait too long. Let's try to move back a little bit so we have more ammo. Or are they just
Do you know what? That's a great question. And like with the way that I'm seeing the board stack, and I've been doing Chris. What's up, my buddy right there? That's one of my my buddies from the Longhorns right there, one of the coaches. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, the way I see the board stacking up right now, since I've been doing this from the beginning, is that there's a lot of value in the undrafted free agent picks. And yeah, the Dolphins do not have a lot of draft capital. They only have 4 picks going into the draft.
Right.
If I was a betting man, I would probably say there's more value in trading back than trading up. That's just me, because you're going to get some more value to the back end of the draft that people don't see. But I will tell you this. I think they're going to stand pat at that pick at 51. I don't think they're coming off it unless it's a really good offer. Right. Like for multiple draft picks, like in this, the 3rd and 4th round, 5th round, then we would take it. But I'll kind of give you a 2-answer question for that. So that would be what I would do. But with that pick 51, after I've watched everything boil down, there's like 2-3 players that I'm like, I think that's our target. And you already know the one I'm going to say. My number one target, it's crazy because it's changed. It was Jack Campbell. I still love his game. Drew Sanders, love the linebackers, but that's not what we really need right now. And I'm not trying to go out of position of need and not take best player available, but I think the target, even for the Dolphins, is Matthew Bergeron out of Syracuse. I think that's the target right now, and they're going to try to waive everybody. And there's so many running backs that the Dolphins, I think, are trying to cover.
And what position do you see Bergeron? Because at that point, he has to be a day one starter, as we said. So you see him as a right tackle day one, or you see him what do you see him at?
Do you know what? It's crazy because I know he can play guard. He can play left tackle, left guard, right tackle. Man, I let him go ahead and go battle with people right now. And I think he ends up at left guard. I think he would end up at left guard if he ended up on our team, and maybe the light pops on for Austin Jackson and he wins the right tackle spot.
I don't know. I'm a little scary. See, I want like this a for sure guy, man. I know, because it scares me though. Because like Eichenberg, like I mentioned earlier a few minutes ago on the show, it's like when you start like in their rookie camp, these are young rookies coming in. They're seeing wide-eyed, like, oh my God, the speed and everything so different. And then you try to make them learn 2 positions. I think it's kind of hard on them.
I do too. I would like to see. Honestly, I don't know. I couldn't tell you till I see him hit the field with us. But if
they dropped him and say he's our left guard, okay, I'm happy. Let him go in, compete for left guard, but don't say, well, he might play left guard or he might play right tackle. But I don't want that. To me, it's just not good.
But you have to do that. And the reason why you have to do that is because like we all know, football has injuries. So right now, I would say if you
right. That's what I said. But eventually, you can develop them. Great that they can be versatile. But as a rookie, go out and earn a starting camp. And then as the season goes on, they learn other position. But as a rookie, it's like, okay, he's okay at right tackle. He's okay at left guard. But he has a lot swimming in his head,
I think this is the vision besides even drafting or targeting a Matthew Bergeron. Okay, this is the vision. Is he maybe starts off inside at left guard, right? Starts off there. But as Terron Armstead gets older and he gets like into the point where he's going to start coaching instead of playing, now Matthew Bergeron can kick out and play left tackle. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So eventually he's going to play left tackle.
I love position versatility, but I just think it kind of hurt early in the career. It kind of hurts them a little bit because they don't really learn the one that they get some reps at right tackle, they get some reps at left guard. And while other players are playing that position every single day, it gives them a little bit of an advantage.
It's true, but it's football. It's an offensive line. I think you'd be fine. See, and then you're like, oh, well, we have a left guard, but now what are we doing at right tackle? And
that's what happened to Hunt in the beginning, but they finally, I think they realized, let's just try to keep Hunt unless injuries happen.
Right guard.
Because people like him at right tackle, but they're just keeping him at right guard, and it's working out. He's played well.
Yeah, he's played
when
great.
They finally just tell him, okay, you don't have to worry about playing, but just sit there. Yes, he had to play some right tackle. tackle last year because everyone and their mother got hurt for us last year.
Right.
But,
if you can get blessed enough to get a right tackle to go over there to help you out in which way or another. I know the presumed starter is going to be Austin Jackson. Everybody knows that. But if you can get a blocking tight end, that's not Durham Smythe or Siebert, it's another one to come over there and help, like say somebody like the Noah Gendorf kid, and the Dolphins like him. Now you get someone who has high blocking quality that you can put to the outside to help the right tackle position. Right. See, so there are options for us.
I know there are options.
Yeah, there are options. They're out there, man.
I just think we need a new starter along the offensive line, and that's not named Austin Jackson or Eichenberg. And yes, one of them can end up being a stud, and if they're the best in camp, then then more power. But I want definitely legit competition for them, like Greer said. Not just like, well, the expectation is I want to have them in camp have to beat out someone to be the right tackle. Because honestly, if you brought Brendan Shell back, I don't know if Austin Jackson beats him out. If given a fair competition without draft pick being in the mind, given a fair competition, then that's it. So that's what I said. We want someone that has we know can be the right tackle. And that
there's options that are still out there available on the street too, but people just don't like the options that are on the street. I mean, look, I'll bring a name up right now that I would bring back, and I guarantee you.
I know who you're going to say. Your buddy.
No, not Fluker. I would love to bring him Fluker back. That's my buddy, and I would love to bring DJ Fluker to the team. I love DJ. He's my buddy. But I would say Billy Turner. If you brought Billy Turner,
oh my God, a name from the past.
Watch, bro. Watch. You bring in Billy Turner, I bet you Austin Jackson couldn't hold dude's jock strap. You bring in Billy Turner, dude. Billy Turner starts at right tackle. But I'm not the GM. I don't make the decisions around here.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know. But I'm hoping it's a smoke screen saying, no, he's the expected starter. And I think there's some truth to it because as we stand right here in April before the draft, he is the expected starter because no one else on the roster is better. But that doesn't mean by the start of the season he's going to be the expected starter. So, I mean, as the roster stands right now, Greer could look in the mirror and say, yeah, I told the truth. He's the expected starter. But after the draft, after more free agents hit and cuts after June 1st cuts to free up more salary cap, some of these teams are going to do to free up money for the draft class. Then a right tackle that's better than Austin Jackson may fall into the Dolphins' lap, and then he would no longer be the expected starter. So I'm not too scared right now that he just said that he's the expected starter. If season game 1, opening day, regular season, Austin Jackson, I'm going to be worried until he proves us otherwise, just because he hasn't proven us. And I want anyone that wears the Alcon and Wong, I want them to perform well, make me shut up and say, oh, Eichenberg and Austin Jackson, I don't know. I think they may have been bust of draft picks. I want them to make me eat my words and they become longtime tenured Dolphins playing for the Alcon and Orange for a long time. And that's what I want. So when anyone says
love that. I would love that.
That's what I would love. But in reality, that may not happen. So I just get a little bit worried when I hear Austin Jackson's a starter. But like I said, I want him. Anyone that goes with Tua down to the long snapper, down to the last guy that's taking up the last practice squad spot on Dolphins. I want them all to kick ass and play well for the Miami Dolphins because that's just how I roll. If they're in my uniform, that's how I roll. That's why I don't get all this Tua. I can understand if people that want to question, oh, I'm not sure if Tua's a long-term answer because of his injuries, I can live with that. But when people openly root against them, I say get rid of your Dolphin clothes and go root for some other team and just call it a day, because it's a difference between questioning if a guy's a starter, if he's good, to actually openly rooting against them just to show, I told you I was right. Then you're no longer a fan of that team. You're rooting against someone on that team. You can say, oh, I'm not sure if Sanders is a kicker. But to openly, oh, I hope he misses so I can show everyone that Sanders sucked. And, that's just stupid. It's just the same concept goes with every position. So that's why I never get the opening rooting against someone. If it's a Buffalo fan coming in openly rooting against Tua, that makes sense. But when it's Dolphin fans, I say, oh, this guy must be. And then you open their fan and they claim to be a Dolphin fan and they openly root against a player. Like I said, there's differences between questioning a player but rooting against a player. That's where I draw the line.
No, I agree with you. I ain't gonna openly root against anybody like that. Like, I'll be honest, there's lots of players that I'm like, oh, I'm not really a fan, and they're on our team. Like, I'm not the biggest Jerome Baker guy. You know how I felt about Mike Gesicki, so I'm glad that that's over. But I'll be honest with you, like, I'll roll with them. Like, even when my buddy Austin Sally, the quarterback, brought up the Lamar Jackson thing, I'm like, it's not my favorite thing to talk about. I'm not a big Lamar Jackson fan, but if he puts on the aqua and orange, I'm gonna back him up, and I'm gonna root for us to win. I mean, that's just how it rolls, you know. Whoever puts on that quarterback jersey, man, you got to roll with them.
Yeah, that's it, and that goes for any position on the team. That's why I say that it's fun to debate whether a guy's the guy or not the guy. But at the end of the day, as Steve likes to say, we're all Dolphin fans, and we want the Dolphins to win, and that's what so we should all root for anyone on our team. You can question them, but don't root against them. That's my only thing, because there's no such thing as a fake fan until they openly root against team players on your own damn team to prove a point that you were right. That's where I draw the line on fandom.
See, that's why I get mad at some people like that, because even during last season, there was people openly rooting, like, oh, I want him to get hurt. And, you know, like, I was in chats and spaces with people that were like, I don't care. I want him to get hurt. I don't want him to be part of the team. And I'm over here defending the kid like, no, dude, I think you want him to get hurt, get kicked out of rooms, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we won't open that Pandora's bubble. I agree. This is where we draw the line, guys.
That's just terrible, man. Like, why would you want to do that?
Put it this way. I've never rooted for injury against anyone. Even Tom Brady in his prime coming into Miami, I would never want Tom Brady to get hurt. I don't want any of these. This is what we pay money. We admire these guys' ability to play. And, let's see. Kirk chimes in. Let's see. I'd rather pick or a OT third round, take tight end from up. Hey, brother, that's fine. Kirk, thank you for your comments.
I like Campbell. I would take Campbell. I think I'd rather take the tackle still, and I'm not interested as much as everybody else in the kid from North Dakota.
I know we already discussed that. We know. I personally like him, but I like him because of you, Justin, which is funny because you did a nice write-up on him, but yet you're not as high on him as other people are. But
no, I think he's talking about the North Dakota kid that I'm talking about, the Gendorf kid, because
North Dakota. I was great. I just saw Dakota, so
me too, and I was like, yeah, I like that. I'd rather pick. I'm with what you said right there, Kirk. I would take it just like that.
Yeah, that's good,
Campbell,
Kirk.
and then him. Yeah, man, I'm for that. Let's go. Let's roll. I like Campbell. I think his game fits our thing. But the problem with that is where is he playing? Like, I'm being honest. Like, is he taking Jerome Baker's spot? Is he taking David Long, who you just paid to come here, spot? No. There's only one way I'm with us drafting a Sanders, a Campbell, a Pace, or a Sewell, and that's if you trade Jerome Baker for draft assets.
Or there's absolutely the best player on the board on the time, because sometimes it's just like
watch out. I've been hearing some stuff, man. Watch out for Tyndall. I've been hearing Tyndall's gonna come on this year. I've been hearing some stuff. So watch out. I think he might come on and be something that we need. So I think there could be some trades that are going to happen that no one's talking about. Not just Noah Igbenogany, not just Cedric Wilson, but it's maybe someone else like I hate to say it, but like an Agba or Jerome Baker or somebody you don't expect, like maybe even an Xavier Howard. Watch him make a move somewhere, and everyone's like, "What the hell?" Yeah. But if you do, you got to have a backup plan in place. There's a lot of cornerbacks. If they were to trade Xavier Howard, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't.
Well, I would be, just from the fact that I think they kind of teamed up Ramsey with him on purpose to have that.
I know.
Tool. But where is he? But anyway, Kirk, I think that's the first time you contributed here. So here's a little song. First time. And Kirk, if you commented before, my apologies, but to give me a good excuse to play my song.
Right.
Every time someone comments for the first time that I remember. That's for you, Kirk.
Miami Dolphins.
Yes, exactly. Let's go. I got another comment in here. I have never put in work to play. Yes, you're right, buddy. Chris. Yeah, that. And Chris, if you want to see your buddies before, you got to watch the replay. You give us a thumbs up. You see your quarterback, your DB, and your coach all in our guest earlier, Chris, if you didn't catch the beginning of our show. But anyway, yes, I agree. Chris, anyone that roots, and that goes for any sport too, man. Any sport, anyone that roots for injury against a player they've never put in the work and understanding what these guys go through. And Kirk, you're welcome.
He's right. Yeah, dude, like my buddy Chris right there. He's one of our offensive line coach and special teams coaches on the Colorado Longhorns. He'll go and light somebody up right now, dude. He'll strap on his helmet, his shoulder pads, and I'll tell you what, dude, he'll come down there and just rock you, dog. You won't wake up, maybe. This dude, he's a warrior of the league as well, and I'm telling you right now, he knows what he's talking about. Anybody who's rooting for injury against us never put the pads on in their life. They know exactly what's going on when you put those pads on. It's dangerous, but we love this violent sport. It's like the stuff that you love even more about the game. It's still a violent sport. I know they're trying to make it safer, but anybody who's like one of those guys is one of them weekend warriors with a beer in hand, like, yeah, kill him, break his legs. I think he's just getting a little carried away into his fandom, and like those are the guys I look at him the same way. Like, damn, you never put on those pads and stuff. Like, you don't want no one to get hurt out there. That's the last thing you want to see.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Justin, our schedule. I'm sure you got to get going too, but
yeah.
Thank you for having again. Thank you for all your Colorado. See, I knew I was going to say a Colorado Longhorns. I've been trying to avoid it the whole time. The Colorado Longhorns. Thank you so much for coming out today. All you guys that showed up, Daryl, Austin, the coach, all you guys. Of course, you, Justin. It was awesome having you guys, learning about what you guys do for the passing of the game. That's not your paycheck. It's just your love check, basically. You guys out there for the love of the game, working. Two of them were serving their country at the same time, but then on their spare time out there playing football, just because they love that game. That's awesome. And
Jason, man. I have a couple. Jason, thank you so much. Yeah, I have a couple other guys from the team I'd love to get on that just to share their story. Just it's the same way as like the guys who are in the Army and serving the service. There's guys out there that have just regular jobs like me and you who were playing football and want to share their passion for the game. Like my buddy James Cleveland. Shout out to Cleveland. I want to get him on here. He's very animated, a great person to talk to with football. He's funny. He'll make you laugh a couple times. And
anytime, Justin, you know it. Anytime you're there ready to come talk, always have to try it. People come to my show for Dolphin talk, but we always wrap it in there.
I want to give a little
Austin for his Tua dish, but it was all good.
Give a quick nugget too here. Maybe me and Rob have already talked about this. I am trying to line up with Terrell Jennings to get him on the show next week. Maybe everybody tune in. We might be able to get him on, pick his brain a little bit about his experience growing up and coming through the rankings as he did, starting off in small colleges and working his way up and getting his transfers. Talk to him about some on-field stuff, what he sees out there. Just pick his brain. So for all you viewers upcoming, hopefully we'll get Terrell Jennings on the show next week sometime.
All right. Sounds good. And again, Justin, thank you. As always, like I said, you always get great guests for the show, which helps us a lot. Gets us some likes. Oh, I didn't even ask one time today. Please give me some likes and subscribes out there. I'm a horrible promoter. That's why I don't make money at this. I'm just a retired
please
old
like
fart,
and subscribe to that channel, man.
So, that's why I would never be one of those YouTuber guys promoting. And you can earn money with me if you subscribe to my. I forget. But just like and subscribe. It brings more fun and entertainment and banter in the chat. The more people that show up to my room, because I just do this for fun. Justin knows my background. It's been a crazy couple of years for me. I did what Austin's dad did for my whole career. Not the pastor part, but the other part he mentioned that his dad was, gets a lot of flag these days, but that's what I did for over 20 something years. And a curveball came and I had to give it up because, some higher powers that be had other stuff in mind for me.
Yeah,
so now I'm here. Justin's been a savior for me. He helps me. Yes, he's crazy. So it's crazy to have a savior like Justin. But he's helped me. It helps me talk football, helps me get my mind off all the chain stuff that happened in my life. I was used to working 14 hours a day. Then, boom, nothing at all because I was in a hospital bed for very, very long time, clinging on to the last thing, just hoping to get to the Dolphin season. But now I got all of that stuff. So it's just great, man. I love this channel. So you guys just like and subscribe for me, and we have
Please.
fun. We have build together, and we have fun. And I'm never going to sell you stuff because I'm just doing this for fun. Unless we get so big, Justin. If we get so big, maybe I change. Hey, this guy said he was never going to sell me anything. You know, and I was, well, things change. But, you know, I'm just teasing. It's all for fun. Justin does it for fun, just like you guys go out there for the Longhorns and play for fun. I do this for fun. So with no further ado, it's lunchtime out here on the East Coast. So I'm going to say fins up. And, Justin, you can close out as I get my closing banner up.
All right, man. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for having me on. Deuces, you guys.
Yeah. Hey, man, you guys rock again. Thank you. And later, guys.
Much
Fins
love,
up.
bro.
Dolphins
Later.
#1. Like and
Fins
subscribe.
up.